Hello, welcome to Mary's Stitching Corner. My name is Mary and this is my channel about cross stitch. I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers. I hope you like what you see, and if you like the video then please hit subscribe, hit the like button, comment. I'd love to interact with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And welcome back, as always, to my returning subscribers. I appreciate you all very, very much. And thank you for all the comments. And thank you for traveling this stitchy journey with me. So today is April 20th. And I think this is Flosstube number 18, but I'm not sure. It's been a while. Obviously, I can't guarantee a time frame for these videos because I just have to go with my health dictates when I can film, and today is a good day, so I thought I would get this filmed, and I wanted to do it yesterday, but it didn't work out. But I have a lot to show you. The one good thing about not filming so frequently is I usually have quite a bit to show. And this time is no exception. So I try to be organized. I've got stuff just scattered everywhere, so hopefully I can keep it running smoothly, and hopefully it won't be too confusing to everybody or me. Okay, so this time I have a fully finished object. I have quite a few new starts. I have, let's see, WIPS. I have haul. I have Stitchy Kindness. And I have plans to talk about. And then at the end of this, we can talk about life a little bit. So let's get started with my FFO. And this is something that I stitched on last year. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Finally, spring is here in Utah, and that brings on allergies. So everybody's kind of sniffling at the moment, but we're very, very, very happy that the snow has stopped. And even though it's still kind of cold, everything's starting to bud and bloom, and it's just the sun shining, and that just seems to make everything feel better. So anyway, I stitched this last year. It's a design by Sue Hillis Designs. I can't remember what it's called, but I had a frame just lying around for a long time, so it's kind of scratched a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. So I used the pinning method that I talked about last time. Kitten Stitcher on Flosstube has a great tutorial about that, and this is what I have done. So I love how the red of the frame brings out the red in the project, and I really like how it looks. And this is all stitched in DMC. Sue Hillis does a great job with shading, so it almost looks like you've used variegated flosses in this, but it's all DMC. And it's stitched on, I think, 18 count beige Ada from Witchelt. Yep. So I'm very happy with that. And now we can look at new starts. So this one I'm stitching for my daughter's best friend. her birthday's in July, so I'm hoping to get this done by then. And she's really into sunflowers right now, so she has her bedroom decorated in sunflowers, and so this just seemed like a good design to do for her. And this is by Shannon Christine Designs, and it's called Sunflower Patchwork. It's a PDF, so I just printed it in black and white. And I had a hard time deciding what fabric to use for it, because nothing seemed to really, some of the colors would blend too much on a lot of the fabrics. So finally, I decided to use this fabric, which was left over from a dimensions kit that I changed the fabric out on. And so this is 18 count navy. I didn't bring my board. 18 count navy Ada. And this is what I've done so far. And yellow and blue are my favorite colors, so this is fun to stitch on. So that's my first new start, and then my friend Patty and I decided we were going to do a Quaker new start. So this is the one that I chose. This is by Jardin Privé, and it's farm Quaker basically. So I decided to use DMC 115, which is a variegated red. And I'm stitching it on 18 count smoky white Ada. And this is what I've done so far. I love stitching on Quakers. So this has been quite fun, although I've had to frog quite a bit. And I have no plans on how quickly I want to get this done, so I just stitch on it when I feel like it. So that was that. My monthly sampler by Country Cottage Needleworks. I'm trying to do one of these a month. And after this one, I only have 2 left to do, which I'm very happy about. And right now I'm working on October's sampler. I'm almost done with this one. And this is being stitched on, it's either a 28 or a 32 count even weave called Pink Dahlia. I just picked that up from my LNS. I don't know which company it's from, but I really like how it looks on there. So I have 2 more rows to do, and then I'll be done with this one. And as I said last time, I am getting kind of bored with these. So I'm ready to get them all done. But since I've only got 2 left to do, I want to just keep going. I think if I had a lot left, I would probably take a big break from them, but I'm almost done. So what else? I've kind of done this out of order. Usually I show you my finishes before my WIPS, but what I decided to do maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, was to have a project upstairs in my bedroom, a nighttime project, so that when I went upstairs, I could work on something as I was unwinding before bed. And so I've pulled a bunch of smalls to work on, and I've been really surprised at how quickly I've gotten through a bunch of these. That's where a lot of my finishes have come from this month. And so this is one that I'm working on at night. Again, it's a PDF and it's just black and white. So this is by Barbara Anna Designs, called Holy Night. And this is what I've done so far. This is 32 count basalt splash Lagana. And I love how it looks. My dog is begging to get up on the couch and I've got it filled with stuff. Okay, up. There we go. So, excuse me. So yeah, this is stitching out really, really quickly. And the nice thing about this fabric is, I don't know if you can tell by looking at this, there's lots of single stitches stitched all through here for the snowflakes. And because I'm using this fabric, I'm not going to do that, which makes me very happy because I hate doing single stitches. So anyway, I'm really liking that so far. So this is my nighttime stitch that I'm working on right now. And it lives in the bag that Patty made for me and sent me. All right. So those are my new starts. So now I'll kind of jump back and show you my finishes, which I should have done before this. Okay, so this is Irish Luck by Mill Hill Buttons and Beads. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I have a frame for it, but I obviously haven't framed it yet. So I love these kits. They can be quite time consuming, but I love how they look. And this is the sampler of the month for September. And sometimes the white doesn't show up very well on the camera, but it shows up in person. And I love this fabric. I got it at my LNS. Can't remember what it's called. It's a 28 count even weave. So those are 2 regular finishes. The rest of these are the ones that I stitched on at night, so my nighttime stitches, and I have finished 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm choosing smalls. That seems to work really well, and I've been pulling them from my kitted projects that I showed you last month. So it's been really, really nice to grab a small and get it stitched up and moved on quickly. It just feels good to reduce the amount of kitted projects, although I keep adding to it. So this is Butterfly Dreams by Barbara Anna Designs. And this is the same fabric I just showed you, 32 count Lugana, or even weave. I think it is Lugana. And I love how this looks on it. Oh, so many things look good on this fabric. This was not a nighttime stitch. I don't know how it ended up in here. This is My Home Sweet Home by Shepherd's Bush. And loved it, loved every minute of this. 32 counts. Can't remember the color. It was a kit from Shepherd's Bush. So, love how it turned out. And this was one of my nighttime stitches. And I am sorry I did not think to grab the charts. So Primrose Cottage Designs, Primrose Cottage Stitches. Can't remember what it's called. I love the colors in this one. This is a 28 count even weave, I think. It's just white. And this is also from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I think it's called Be Happy. And just a white even weave, probably 28 count. So I have a couple more of these bee designs. I really like them, really like the colors. So those are my finishes. And you've seen my new starts. So let's look at my WIPS. So for my, let's see, my WIP Go last month, it was Christmas jar ornaments and all creatures great and small. So I chose to stitch on both of them all month. My goal is a minimum of 6 hours, but with the Christmas jar ornaments, I stitched on it for half an hour a day until the ornament was done. So I guess that's another finish. And then all creatures great and small, I tried to stitch on it for an hour a day for the entire month. That became my focus piece. So the Christmas ornaments, this is what I'm stitching from. And this is the one here that I was working on. And like I mentioned last time, I was not very excited to do this, but ended up thoroughly enjoying it. I've got hair everywhere. Ever since we got COVID last year, my girls and I have been losing hair significantly. So they say, I Googled it, and they say that it can take 6 to 9 months to come back. So we're at the 6-month point. I'll be very happy when it stops because we have hair everywhere right now. Anyway, so this is the ornament. I just love how it looks. As I said, I wasn't excited about it, but that's what WIPGO is all about for me, is just to get me stitching on everything, so that whether I feel like it or not, just so I can move things along. And usually I end up really enjoying it. So I'm very happy with this. Obviously it's not FFO'd yet, but I'm very happy with that finish. And All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs. I was excited to stitch on. I was very happy that this was my focus piece. And there was a point mid-month where I felt like I just don't want to do this anymore. But I kept going, and by the end it was hard to put away. So this is it. And I've started in the middle, just all the way down here, and then I came over here, I think. Yes, I did. I came over here. So I got quite a bit done on it. I would have gotten more on it if I hadn't reached this part, which took forever. This grassy area just took such a long time. So I think when I started last month, I had done the house, I had done this and done the house and one of these flowers. So I finished this, well, you know, the center part of it, and did all this, and then came up and came across here. So I got a significant amount of stitching on this. And I think now that this is done, because I think that was probably the part of the chart that's just got the most intense stitching, I think it will go much faster. And it's on my WIPGO board a few more times. So this is being stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha with the called for anchor threads, 1/1. So I'm just thrilled with how much I got done on this. So those were last month's WIPGO numbers. This month, Christmas Village Ornaments by Dimensions was called. I was not excited about it. It's stuck. So this is the kit, and this is the one I'm working on. And I've actually gotten quite a bit done, but after I reached my 6 hours, I put it away. So this is where we're at, using all the kit products, the floss, I think it's 18 count Ada. And I think it's looking really good. I don't know if it's that I don't want to stitch Christmas when it's springtime. I don't know what it is, but this one was hard for me to keep going on. But I did make quite a bit of progress, and that's what it's about. I think it looks great. It was just my mindset that was the problem, I think. But I did my 6 hours, so I did. fulfill the goal. And the next one that was called for this month, again, I was not excited about it. But now that I'm stitching on it, I'm really enjoying it again. And it's, when I say I wasn't excited about it, it's not that I don't like them anymore. It's just that sometimes you're not in the mood to stitch on certain things. And, or you think you're not in the mood to stitch on certain things. But on the whole, I would say that usually I get warmed up to it and enjoy it while I'm doing it. And this is one that I've been thoroughly enjoying. So this is Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I hadn't touched this one for quite a while. So this has now become, I've done my 6 hours, and this has now become my focus piece for the month. So I've been stitching on it at least an hour a day, every day. And I've made quite a bit of progress. I think when I started this month, I was up here. So I've done all of this right here so far. And this is quite intense stitching, so it doesn't move quickly. So this is 18 Count Sage by Fabric Flare. And I'm using the called for DMC. I did not use any variegated floss. If I was to start it now, I would do that. But at the time I started this, that wasn't something that I was really into, but I use the fancy flosses much more now. I still think it looks really good though. I love the colors. So I still have, what is this? The 20th, so 10 more days to go. So maybe I'll get another couple of rows done. So I'm working on it row by row. This is the British Isles by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is a mystery stitch along. First one I've done. I'm finding it kind of interesting. I don't know if this is for me, but I have been enjoying it, and I will keep going on it. So let's see, I'm working on the April section right now. I think I do feel kind of pressure to get this done before the next section is released, and maybe that's why I feel kind of funny about it, but it's been fun. It's different than I imagined it would be, but I still think it's really cute, and I like the colors they've been choosing. But this is where I am at so far. So I still have some work to do through here to complete April's section. And I think the next section will be released on the 26th. So I've got 6 more days to get that done. And this is 18 Count Ada by Fabric Flare. I think it's called... is it Aqua? I love it. I think it's really, really nice. So that's the British Isles stitch along, mystery stitch along. And then these two I just pulled out because I had a notion to work on them. This one I just pulled out today. I've been feeling guilty about this one because I have not touched this one in a long time. And it kept popping into my head. So today I pulled it out and just, I've done a little bit of work on it, but I'll do some more later today. So this is A Perfect World by the Scarlet House. I absolutely love this one. I saw it stitched up again at my LNS. The problem with this one, like I've talked about before, is I chose to do on a 40 count linen. And I just feel like it goes so slowly. And I've miscounted in a few places. So when I went to my LNS last time, they had it stitched on another fabric, 18 count. And I bought that fabric with the intention of restarting this one. It looked wonderful on the other fabric, and sometimes I like to choose a higher count so that the piece isn't too big when it's done. But seeing theirs framed, it wasn't too big. So, but then when I pulled it out, I thought, gosh, I've done so much on it. I don't want to start again. So I'm going to try and struggle through. And this is what I've got done so far. And this is 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. And today I've just been working. I did the dog and I did some grass, and then I'm working down here. And this is, I'm using the called for floss, which is Weeks Dye Works, the Gentle Art, and just one DMC. The black is DMC. So I'm going to keep going on this, and I love the way it looks. I just don't enjoy stitching on it. And there's going to be a lot of fabric left over when I'm done, because this is the bottom of it right here. So I've got all this fabric left. So I'm thinking, what can I stitch on this next? We'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to give this a little bit of time and attention. And then this one I pulled out because of Laura at Stitching by the Shore. She stitches on this almost every week right now, and every time she pulls it out I think, oh, I have to work on that. This was my birthday start from last year, last May, so we're coming up on a year from when I started it. And was making great progress yesterday, and then I realized I had miscounted. Had to do a bunch of frogging. So this is Black Vintage Sampler by Owl Forest Embroidery. Now Laura is stitching this on a really pretty blue, I think. I just chose an antique white, and it's 18 count Ada. And I should take it out of Q-snap so you can see. So this is, I think it looks great. So yesterday well, this week I was working on this section right here. And I had this border done all the way down to the end of the page. And it was off by 1 stitch up here. So I had to unpick it all, which was not very enjoyable, but with it being the border, you don't want to mess with it. So anyway, so I finished this tree or bush and did the bird and started this little flower here. And I plan on working on it some more throughout the rest of the month. So those are my WIPS. And I do feel like I'm getting a little bored with everything, which is why I pulled out these projects that I haven't worked on in a while. I also think that's why I started the nighttime stitch, just to introduce some new projects in. And I'm so tempted to start so many things right now, but I know it would overwhelm me. So I'm trying to hold back, but that's what we'll talk about next. No, we won't. Let's talk about Stitchy kindness. So Patty, my friend, was going through her charts and sent me some charts and some fabric, which of course I forgot to bring down. But she knows that I like patriotic stitching, so she sent me Lady Liberty by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I love this one. It's Heartstring Samplery, a plant of rapid growth. And that's a big one, 211 by 157. And she sent me not only the chart, but she sent me the floss for this. She is so kind. Liberty's Welcome. This one was on my wish list by Plum Street Sampleries. And this is huge. I had no idea this one was so big. It is $349 by 211. So this will take a while, but I love it. And she had stitched this one and it looked absolutely gorgeous. And so she sent me this when she was done. This is Penny Autumn by Plum Street Samplers. I love Plum Street. They have just become one of my favorites. So I'm looking forward to this. Very, very cute. That house looks like it will take a long time. Hot flash time. I'm going to turn my fan on. So that's my Stitchy Kindness. Patty, thank you so much. And now, haul. I went to my LNS. And I'm not sure what I showed you last time. Did I show you this last time? I don't think so, but if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. So this is the fabric I got for A Perfect World. But obviously at the moment I'm gonna stick with the original, and then I can use this for something else. So it's 18 count linen Ada, and it looked absolutely gorgeous on this. I don't love stitching on this fabric, but the projects look amazing on it. I've done a few on this. And then I got 32 count Lugana Stormy Night. Just for my stash. I thought this might be good for some Halloween designs. I'm really into buying fabric right now. And then these were in the bargain bin, so they were 50% off. This is Plum Street Samplers, Grey Sunday. This is Jardin Privé Floral Composition 1. I wouldn't probably have gotten this if it wasn't half off, but I think it's really cute. So I guess there's 3 pieces to it. Here it is when it's all done together. But I like this. I think this will be cute on its own. And this is from Tralala Collection, Tralala ABC something. It's in French or something. Anyway, I thought this was really cute. I have no plans to start them anytime soon. That's what I'm saying right now. Also, when we went in, I really hope I'm not repeating myself, because I feel like maybe I told you this last time, but I don't think so. Anyway, there's a Flosstuber stitching this. Is it Hughie Stitcher? I'm probably saying it wrong. Hygee Stitcher. She's in Canada, and she is stitching this, and watching hers when I saw it for the very first time, and I thought it looked absolutely fantastic. So I sent a picture to Patty and I said, look at this, and kind of added it to the wish list in my mind. So we went to the LNS, Katrina and I, and we'd probably been in there 2 minutes, and she walked over to me and she said, Mom, you need to stitch this. And she had picked up that exact thing, which I hadn't shared with her before. So I have kitted this up, and I want to start this soon. So this is Spring Quaker by Lila Studio. I think it's stunning. Now, I want to say Hygee Stitcher, but I know that's not what you say. It's Hughie or something like that. She's done with the border completely, and it looks amazing. So, and this is big. It is 268 by 215. One of the fabrics that Patty sent me was Ledger by Bestitch Me, and I'm thinking of stitching this on this. It's kind of a blue, yellow, gray. I love this fabric, absolutely love it. And interestingly, I had joined the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month Club. It's the first time I've ever joined a club like that. And this was the fabric that we got last month, and I got it, and I just loved it. And I said to Katrina, I have so many projects I want to stitch on this. I wish I had more. And like the next day, this came from Patty. So anyway, I'm thinking of stitching on this. I think it'll actually be very cute. And these are the flosses, the fancy flosses, and the DMC. So I'll probably start this quite soon. Not that I need another large WIP, but it's hard to resist. So this is part of my plans going forward. The other plan is my birthday start for next month, so Patty's going to join me in this. And I think there's a hashtag on Instagram. I think it's This Is the Day, Sal. Sorry, got a thread caught. So I'll be starting this next month. Now, last year I started my birthday stitch on my birthday, which would be the 16th. Thinking of starting this on the 1st of May this time. Haven't decided yet, but I know you've seen this. So many people are stitching it. This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers. And I'm trying to decide between two fabrics. I got this one at my LNS, and it's 20 count Ada mushroom sand. This is quite true to the color here. But then I have 32 count Jobelin lamb's wool. Because I kind of like the idea of not stitching on Ada, but I know that stitching on the 20 count will make it smaller. It will go faster because Ada's just easier. I could use one thread, 1/1. But I like the idea of stitching it on either a linen or an even weave. So I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you have a preference? It's also got some white, so I have to take that into account so that the white will show up, and I think this would work better for that. Yep, I have to think on it some more. And again, I've got the called for floss. And these are Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works and DMC. So that's going to be my birthday start. And since my nightly stitch is working so well, I've kitted up some more projects. And I have them in a drawer, and when I finish one, I just grab another. And the only criteria is they should be under 100 stitches. A couple of these I think are slightly longer than that or slightly bigger than that, but only by a stitch or two. So these are my plans for just my nightly stitch, and I want to get a lot of these smaller projects done. I'll be stitching them in no particular order, just whatever tickles my fancy at the time. So this is Autumn Jumbo by the Drawn Thread. and I am not using the called for floss because it's all silk that they're calling for. So I basically just looked at the chart and picked colors, DMC colors. And this is 28 count platinum. I've had a lot of these charts for a long time, so it actually feels nice to start churning some of these out. This is Halloween Jumble by the Drawn Thread. And again, it calls for silks. And I'm using just my DMC conversion. These are the threads that I've chosen. And this is 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. That I think will work quite well. This is a chart by Stitchy Princess Black. It's called Miss Winter. She's Stitchy Princess on Etsy. And I'm using the call for DMC and 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. It's like a grayish purple. And I won this chart on Instagram. It's by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and it's called White Christmas, and it's got 4 ornaments. They're like little snow globes. Very, very cute. Using the called for floss, and I'm using, I think this is 18 count Ada that I dyed myself. I've had this one at least 2 years. This is Heart and Hand, Friendship Garden. And I'm getting quite brave because I'm substituting all of the floss. Maybe one, maybe I had one, but I'm just choosing similar colors from floss that I have in my stash. And this is a 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. I think it will look quite cute on here. Sometimes the color gets kind of washed out. And these are all relatively small. Like those ornaments are very, very small. They should stitch up really fast. And this is Plum Street Samplers, Bless Our Land. I'm using the called for floss, which is Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. And I'm using, this is Tan by Fabric Flare. And lastly, Waxing Moon Designs, St. Patrick's House Trio. Actually gonna stitch them in a row this time. Normally I stitch them individually and turn them into pillows. This time I'm gonna stitch them on one piece of fabric. So I'm using the called for floss. I had to order the floss for this. And I'm using 18 count Ada that I dyed myself. It's a green. So those are my Stitchy plans. Technically, if I do this all on one piece of fabric, it doesn't count as a small anymore. So should I keep it in my nightly stitch or not? So I think that's all my stitching. I hope to go to my LNS over the next week or so. And that's it. That's all my Stitchy stuff. So life hasn't been a lot happening. It's been a rough 6 weeks or so health-wise, which is why I haven't filmed. But things are good at the moment. So I had an appointment to go get my stress test at the cardiologist, but I was in AFib and couldn't go. So I had to push that back, and now the date that I chose is the date we're leaving on a weekend trip, so I'm going to have to change it again. So Katrina had her birthday yesterday. It was really nice. Just baked her a cake. Let's see. Did the gifts and gifts and cake, and it was a really nice night. When it's our birthday, we get to choose our dinner, choose what movie we want to watch, stuff like that. So it was nice. She had a good time, and today, she's off today, and Sarah took half the day off, and Sarah is taking her out to lunch and a movie. So they're out having fun. Let's see what else. We took Maggie, my dog, to the vet for her yearly vaccines, and she was officially pronounced obese. So she's a Maltese Shih Tzu mix, and you know, you can never tell what size your dog is going to be when you get them. They can estimate based on the parents' weights. Her parents were 8 pounds and 16 pounds, so they figured she might be around 16 pounds, but she's not. I don't give her any extras other than her regular food, which is right where it needs to be. So she doesn't get overfed with her regular food. My husband's the worst offender. He likes to give her treats when he comes home, and on the weekends he'll give her some table food, which really annoys me. But anyway, she was put on a diet. She's been on a diet for 6 weeks or so, and we took her to the vet on Monday just to be weighed, and she's lost 1/4 pound. So if she doesn't lose more weight over the next few months, then they'll do some blood work to see if there's a health problem that's making it so that she can't lose weight. But she doesn't get any exercise, you know. I have a lot of health issues. Katrina has a lot of health issues, so she doesn't get walked a lot, and she's very much a couch potato. So anyway, we're trying to work on that. Other than that, she's really healthy. We've booked our first RV trip of the year, going down to central Utah. Yeah, I think that's about it. My husband's almost done with the master shower, so he'll probably get it done this weekend. And then we don't have to use leaky showers anymore. And so once he's done with that, because that was kind of an emergency situation that made him stop what he was doing in the remodel and focus on that, he'll be able to come back downstairs and start working on the main floor again and get things moving along. So one of these years, this house will be done. Yeah, that's about it. Really not a lot going on. Been listening to books on Audible, and listened to 2 really good books lately. One of them was it's an author that I used to listen to a lot in the 80s and 90s, an Irish author called Maeve Binchy. And I came across one of her books that was free on Audible. And I had read it years ago, but I decided to read it again or listen to it again. It's called Scarlet Feathers, and it was so enjoyable. Basically, just about this guy and girl that are trying to set up a catering business, and it involves the families and all the drama going around all the family, and it's just really, really good. Another one that I read is, I'm going to have to look it up because I forget the name. Let me grab my iPad. It was so good, but it was heavy, and this author is one of my favorites, but she does write kind of heavy books. Kristen Hanna is her name. Oh, it's called The Four Winds. I'll double check that. And it's deciding to freeze. Anyway, it's set in the Depression and the Dust Bowl. And it centers around this one lady and her family. And I couldn't stop listening to it. Let's see, I want to just check The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. It's not a book that's going to make you feel really warm and fuzzy, but it was such a good book. So I would highly recommend it. Just know that it's heavy. And Maeve Binchy, brilliant author. If you haven't heard any of hers, I would highly recommend her. The next one I'm going to listen to is it's completely gone. Anyway, I recommend her. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing else going on. I'm just starting to ramble now. So thank you so much for stopping by and encouraging me in my stitching journey, or enabling me, which many of you do. It's very dangerous to watch Flosstube, but it's so much fun. I hope that everything's good with you. I hope that you're enjoying good weather, and if you're in an area of the world where you're experiencing spring, I hope that you're starting to see some nice weather and just that feeling of relief after winter. We had such a bad winter. We broke all records with snow. I think they said we had 850 inches of snow in the mountains, and we're starting to see flooding. Thankfully, it's not warming up super fast, but flooding is a big issue this year. But I'm so happy to see the sun again. It's been a long winter. So thanks again, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be. Take good care. Bye for now.